Okay, so are you ready for this? We are diving deep into some really mind-bending stuff today.
It's a good one.
It is a good one. It's
Yeah.
going to be a wild ride, so buckle up. We're talking strange lights, cryptic messages,
Oh, yeah.
and get this, maybe even alien architects.
And the best part is we're lucky to have more than just like grainy photos and shaky eyewitness accounts for this one.
Right.
We've got solid reports, we got scientific data, and a story that literally unfolded on a global scale.
On a global scale.
It's pretty incredible.
It is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It all started about a year ago in Morris County, New Jersey. Remember all those bizarre shapes in the sky? Triangles, hexagons, spirals, all glowing and moving with this eerie precision that had everybody baffled. I mean, drones can do some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
But this was next level.
Oh, yeah. This was not drones.
Social media was a total frenzy.
It's understandable why people jump to conclusions, I think.
Yeah.
You know? This wasn't your typical UFO sighting, like the shapes movements.
Right.
Their eerie silence and their disruption of radio signals.
Right.
It all pointed towards something beyond our current understanding.
Exactly. And that's where Claire Reed, our intrepid local journalist, comes in. She didn't just accept the sensational headlines.
Right.
She was skeptical at first, which I totally respect. But once she saw these shapes with her own eyes, she knew that this was a story that needed to be told.
Yeah. I think it's fascinating how her initial skepticism makes her journey even more compelling, right?
Right.
She goes from a skeptic to a believer and ultimately a key figure in humanity's response to this whole event.
Totally.
It really speaks to the power of these events.
Absolutely. So Claire starts digging deep.
Yeah.
She's interviewing witnesses, poring over reports, and trying to separate fact from fiction. And here's where things get really interesting. These shapes weren't just putting on a show.
Right.
They were communicating.
It started subtly, like a whisper almost.
Oh, really?
A single word, prepare, whispered through the static. Almost like a cautionary whisper from the unknown.
I get chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
I mean, what were we supposed to prepare for? At that point, nobody knew.
Right. And the mystery only deepened when Clara, working with Dr. Ravi Shah, he's an astrophysicist, discovered the word messengers embedded within the signals. These weren't just shapes, they were entities, communicators.
Okay, so we've got these messengers urging us to prepare. What's next?
Well, then they projected these incredible images into the sky. Alien landscapes, strange structures, but also familiar Earth landmarks. What do you make of that?
It's like they were trying to draw a connection between our world and theirs.
Yeah.
But what was the message?
That's where the Moroccan cave comes in.
Ooh, the Moroccan cave. Okay.
Ravi discovered that the shape's projections, specifically a star map, aligned perfectly with ancient carvings in a cave in Morocco.
Wow.
A cave predating written history. Think about that. This connection stretches back millennia.
Hold on. So these messengers were pointing us towards something ancient, something hidden for centuries.
Right.
That's wild.
And this brings us to Dr. Amara Sadiq, the archaeologist who initially discovered the cave. She'd been studying these carvings for years, and thanks to the messenger's projections, she was finally able to decipher their meaning.
So what were these carvings? Just random doodles or something more?
They depicted a prophecy.
A prophecy.
Shapes descending from the sky, humans gathering, and then the arrival of a massive spherical object.
Whoa, hold on.
Doesn't that sound eerily familiar?
Okay, now I'm officially creeped out. So these messengers weren't just communicating, they were enacting an ancient prophecy.
It seems so.
And this prophecy mentioned even more powerful beings, the architects. Who are these architects and what do they want with us?
The architects were described in these cave carvings as the guardians of the void, almost like custodians of life across the cosmos.
Really?
We're talking about entities on a whole other level.
So we have the messengers acting as heralds, preparing us for the architect's arrival. What did the world do with this information?
Well, the revelation of this prophecy and the potential arrival of these architects threw the world into a frenzy.
You can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
The chaos.
Government scrambled, scientists debated, and religious leaders offered a whirlwind of interpretations.
Yeah.
It was a mirror reflecting humanity's hopes, anxieties, and diverse belief systems all at once.
You can imagine the chaos. I mean, we're talking about potentially advanced beings from who knows where, and ancient prophecy suddenly coming to life. Did anyone even try to make sense of it all?
Absolutely. It led to the formation of the Unity Initiative,
Okay.
a global coalition of scientists, diplomats, and cultural leaders tasked with deciphering the messenger's intentions and preparing for whatever was coming. It was an unprecedented moment of international collaboration, driven by the sheer scale of the events.
The Unity Initiative, that's a name we've heard a lot in the news. What exactly did they do?
They became the central hub for information and action. Think of it as humanity's mission control for this extraordinary event.
Right.
They analyzed the data, coordinated research efforts, and tried to facilitate communication between different nations and factions,
I bet.
which, believe me, was no easy task.
I bet. Given the high stakes, I imagine there were a lot of conflicting opinions on how to respond to this whole situation.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
There were those who saw the messengers as divine beings, harbingers of a new spiritual age.
Right.
Others condemned them as demonic forces, a sign of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then there were those who saw the architects as potential saviors, while others feared them as conquerors.
Oh, wow.
It was a global clash of ideologies, fueled by fear and uncertainty.
So much for unity, huh? It sounds like the architect's arrival pushed humanity to its breaking point.
In some ways, yes, but amidst the chaos, there were also these incredible acts of collaboration and a genuine yearning for understanding. Scientists worked around the clock to decode the signals, sharing their findings openly. Religious leaders from different faiths engaged in dialogue, seeking common ground. It was a reminder that even in the face of the unknown, humanity is capable of remarkable things.
That's reassuring. So the Unity Initiative is trying to decipher the messenger's messages. The world is grappling with the implications of this prophecy. What was Clara up to during all of this?
Clara was recruited as the media liaison for the Unity Initiative.
Oh, wow.
She became the voice of reason, the bridge between this extraordinary event and a bewildered public.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time.
Right.
She was literally at the center of this global event trying to make sense of it all for the rest of us.
And she wasn't just passively relaying information.
Right.
Remember that hidden message Ravi uncovered?
Uh-huh.
The mathematical equations speaking to the concept of balance between science and spirituality, progress and preservation.
Right.
Well, Clara latched onto that idea.
Yeah.
She saw it as a key to understanding the architect's intentions.
Wait a minute. Are you saying the architects weren't just here to check in on us? They were evaluating us based on this idea of balance.
Exactly. And that brings us to a crucial point. The countdown etched into the Moroccan cave.
Right.
Remember, 7 days.
Yeah.
Many initially assumed it was a countdown to the architect's arrival. But what if it was something else?
Okay, I'm intrigued. What are you suggesting?
What if that countdown was a deadline?
Yeah.
A test? What if the architects were giving humanity 7 days to demonstrate whether we had achieved this balance?
Wow. Okay, that changes everything. 7 days to prove ourselves worthy, no pressure or anything.
Yeah.
What happened next?
As the world watched, the messengers entered a new phase.
Oh.
Yeah. They descended into cities, projecting holographic visions of Earth's history.
Really?
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Oh, wow.
It was like they were presenting the architects with a comprehensive report card of humanity.
I'm picturing those projections. All of our triumphs and failures laid bare for these cosmic judges to see. It must have been an incredibly sobering experience for those who witnessed it.
It was a powerful reminder of our past, our potential, and the consequences of our choices. But then, on the 6th day, something happened that threatened to derail everything.
Uh-oh. What went wrong?
General Harding, who had been advocating for a military response all along, decided to take matters into his own hands.
Wooly.
He saw the Unity Initiative as too passive, too trusting.
Right.
He believed that showing strength was the only way to ensure humanity's survival.
So he went rogue. What did he do?
He ordered a missile strike on one of the messengers.
No! I can't believe it. After everything that had happened, all the efforts towards understanding and communication, he resorted to violence. What was he thinking?
It was a desperate, reckless attempt to seek control in the face of the unknown.
Wow.
A tragic miscalculation driven by fear and a deeply ingrained belief in humanity's dominance.
That's terrifying. It sounds like he jeopardized everything. What happened next? Did the messengers retaliate?
No. Something far more profound occurred.
What do you mean? What happened?
As the world watched in horror as that missile streaked towards the messenger, the sphere arrived.
So the sphere arrived. What happened next?
Imagine this. The sphere projected by the messengers was massive.
Oh, wow.
It eclipsed the sun, casting the world into this eerie twilight.
Yeah.
It was both awe-inspiring and terrifying, like a symbol of the unknown just hanging over our heads.
It's hard to even wrap my mind around that.
Yeah.
The messengers, the prophecy, the countdown, and now this colossal sphere appearing in the sky. I can't imagine what people must have been feeling at that moment.
It was a moment like frozen in time.
Right.
Governments scrambled, communication lines jammed, and the world held its breath, collectively wondering, what happens now?
And remember, humanity was still deeply divided.
Oh, yeah.
Harding had just launched a missile, representing a faction that favored a show of force.
Right.
But on the other hand, you had the Unity Initiative advocating for understanding and diplomacy. What was their response to this sphere's arrival?
The Unity Initiative, they remained committed to their mission.
Yeah.
They continued analyzing data from the messengers, hoping to find a way to communicate with the architects, to explain Harding's actions, and to plead for peace. It was a long shot, but they had to try.
So in the midst of this global crisis, the Unity Initiative becomes humanity's last hope. What happens next?
One of the messengers descended from the sky
Okay.
and landed right in the Unity Initiative's courtyard.
Really?
It projected this shimmering doorway of light, almost like an invitation.
Wow.
And guess who it chose?
It has to be Clara, right?
Yeah.
She had been the bridge between humanity and the messengers all along.
You're right. It was Clara.
Wow.
She was the one who had listened, who had tried to understand, who had tirelessly advocated for unity.
Right.
She was humanity's representative.
This is incredible. She steps through that doorway into the unknown.
Yeah.
What happened inside? What did she see?
She described finding herself in a space that defied our understanding of physics.
Yeah.
And there she encountered an architect.
Wait, she met one face to face.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like?
She described a beam of pure light and energy, humanoid in form, but radiating this aura of immense power and wisdom. Its voice resonated like a symphony, its presence both awe-inspiring and humbling.
I can only imagine. What did the architect say? What was their purpose in coming here?
The architect revealed that they were custodians of life, observers of the cosmos.
Mm-hmm.
They had been watching humanity, monitoring our progress, and they had come to assess our readiness to join a greater community of worlds.
Wow. So this wasn't an invasion or a judgment. It was an evaluation.
Yes, they were looking for something specific. Balance.
Right.
Remember that hidden message Ravi discovered? The mathematical equations speaking to the concept of balance between science and spirituality, between progress and preservation.
So the countdown, the projections of our history, it was all part of this test.
It seems that way.
Wow.
The architects were looking for evidence of this balance within humanity. They wanted to see if we had learned from our past, if we were capable of harnessing our knowledge and our spirit for a greater purpose.
And Harding's attack on the messenger?
Yeah.
That must have thrown a wrench into everything. Did the architects hold that against us?
Clara emerged from her meeting with a heavy heart.
Okay.
She didn't reveal the specifics of her conversation with the architect, but her message to the world was clear. Unity, understanding a need to show the architects the best of humanity.
It sounds like a plea for redemption.
It was.
What was the world's response? Did they heed her message?
In some parts of the world, yes.
Okay.
People gathered peacefully, projected messages of hope, and tried to show the architects our capacity for compassion and cooperation. But in other places, the chaos continued. Harding's faction doubled down, using his actions as justification for further militarization.
So even after this incredible encounter, humanity was still deeply divided.
Yeah.
What happened next?
The deadline arrived, the 7th day. And then, without warning, the messengers, the sphere, they all vanished.
Just like that.
Gone.
What did it mean?
They left behind a single message projected across the sky for all to see. You have chosen.
Chills. What a powerful yet cryptic message. What does it mean? What did we choose?
That's the question that continues to haunt us, right?
Right.
The architect's departure wasn't a clear victory or defeat.
Yeah.
It was a statement of fact.
Right.
We had made our choice.
Right.
And now we had to live with the consequences.
It's almost more unsettling than if they had issued a judgment.
Right.
Their silence forces us to look inward to examine our choices and their implications.
Exactly. They gave us a glimpse of what was possible, a future among the stars,
Right.
a community of advanced civilizations, but they also showed us the consequences of our divisions, our capacity for self-destruction.
Yeah.
The choice, they made it clear, was ours.
Wow. That's a lot to take in. So what happens next? Where do we go from here?
We are left to grapple with the implications of their visit, to build our own future.
Right.
The architects didn't give us a map, but they gave us something far more valuable.
What's that?
A mirror.
Ah, okay.
They forced us to confront who we are, both the good and the bad.
Right.
The rest is up to us.
Well, that's our deep dive for today.
That was a good one.
I know, right? It really makes you think.
It does.
Maybe someday we'll get more answers.
Yeah, hopefully.
Till then, keep looking up.
Keep looking up.
And maybe, just maybe, keep hoping.